And then he commanded the man, saying, from any tree of the garden you may surely eat, but from the tree of knowledge of good and evil you shall not eat from it. For in the day that you eat from it, you will surely die. Now there are those out there who would take this verse and make the argument that because we did not die, God changed his mind, and therefore this holds no true weight. But to do so is a gross miscarriage of the truth of what Scripture says. In all reality, what we are seeing here is a command by God regarding the penalty for sin. In fact, when we get to Paul's letter to the church at Rome, in the 6th chapter, the 23rd verse, from verse that we're all familiar with, the first part of, for the wages of sin is death. There is nothing different in the proclamation that Paul makes in Romans chapter 6, verse 23, than what God makes in Genesis chapter 2. You see, to disobey was to sin, and to sin was to be punished by death. And as he pronounced the punishment on both Eve and Adam, immediately following that section, we read these words in Genesis chapter 3 in verse 21. Then Yahweh God made garments of skin for Adam and his wife, and he clothed them. What I want you to see here is that because of the sin of Adam and Eve, there was still a requirement that had to be met in the sense of justice. In order for God to see their sins as atoned for, blood had to be spilled. Now it's simple to read chapter 3, verse 21 and go, well, I don't see any sacrifice. But remember, he provided skins for clothing. And in order to provide the skins, the animal paid with its life. And by doing so, paid the debt that Adam and Eve incurred. The fact that God clothes them points us forward to the clothing of righteousness that you and I receive because of Christ's work.